I made a few of these wreaths over the Christmas period and I fell in love with them, to be honest. It took me 15 minutes each to make. They look absolutely stunning and they are so easy. So let's whip one up together. It's not needle felting, but we are using the beautiful wool tops. And this wreath serves as a great base for anything needle felted you wanted to add. I'm using these gorgeous wool tops from World of Wool. This is mustard, it's a Corriedale wool top and it's perfect for this project. And I'm going to go for the Peacock Blue. I was going to go for the more tealy colour, but the Peacock Blue just matches the colour makeover I've given the dining room perfectly. The base I'm using is a flat-backed polystyrene wreath, which is around 7.5 inches wide. So that's about 16, 17 centimetres, something like that. Just small, but you will need quite a bit of wool. So I've got around 250 grams here of the wool top. So I am reliably informed that this is hand crochet. So please don't judge me because I've never done it before. So if it is, it is. And if it isn't, it still looks great at the end anyway. To create our first loop, we pull the wool top behind the hoop and up, and then around the back of our hand, and then back through the hoop again, and we're going to create our first loop by pulling that through the wool that is wrapped around our hand, and that creates that very first loop. And then you pull it tight. You'll find it a bit awkward to start with, and keep pausing the video and going back. It will take you a few goes to get started. The second loop, we do the same again. We pull up that wool, take it around the back of the hand, take it over the back of the hoop again, noting that I don't have to pull all the wool through, it just stays in the same place. And now we've got two loops. I'm pulling that wool through with my fingers to create our second loop. And here we are on our way, apparently, to hand crocheting our wreath. So it's a little bit easier now to pull it tight. Don't worry about positions at this point. We can move it around. It's really easy. So we just repeat the same. Around, up, around the hand, around the back again. Pull that away because there's a little bit of loose wool top, but that'll get tucked in. Pull it around the back and then grab it with the fingers and pull it through the two loops that were on your hand. And now we've got another loop, and we keep going in this fashion. Just pull those whisks off because I know they're going to annoy me later on. They will get hidden, but they're annoying me at the moment, so that's why I'm faffing about with them. So you can see already though how this is starting to shape together. So pull that wool tight. Again, bring it round the back of the hoop and through, round the back of the hand, back of the hoop again, and then grab it with your thumb or your fingers and pull that hoop through. Don't let go of it. Pop your hand inside there, and that's your next hoop. So let's do it again. So we're going around, under, back of the hand, so the back of those fingers, under, and then through. Just grab it with your thumb or your fingers, and that's another loop we have done. And just keep going this way until we get to the end. So remember, we pull it through the hoop, just the wool that we need, not the whole ball of wool. So it comes around, through, around the back of our fingers, creating that second loop. Back through again, and then through the two loops. Grab it with your thumb and get your fingers through that loop so you don't lose it. The great thing with this project is it's so fast that if you do get lost or it does go wrong, it just pulls out. It's it's like wool stitches. It just pulls out. It's so easy. And here we go again. Through, around the back of the hand. I'm using my 4 fingers. We've created 2 loops there. We're going back again, and that loop is now being created by pulling it through. Tightening it. So we want to keep it as tight as we can because we want to use as little wool as possible. We're already using quite a lot. And again, around the back of the hand, through the back and pull it through. We're almost there now. So keep it nice and flat, this wool. Don't let it twist. If it does, just untwist it as you're working with it. Under, around the back of the hand, under, through the hand, through both loops, and pull it out. Make sure it's nice and flat and tidy. Feel free to slow the video down. It might make it a little bit easier for you, but as soon as you get used to the technique, it's very, very simple. And as I said, please don't judge me on my crochet technique. I don't crochet, so but it looks amazing at the end, which is the main thing, and I'm really not bothered how I get there as long as I get there. And the joy with these wreaths are they are so quick to make. You could whip one up for your spring, for Easter. I did one for Christmas. And also, if you're selling at craft fairs, remember all the spring craft fairs are going to be coming up. So, or if you're selling online, these are quick makes that you can create, but they are really high-end products, a really high-end finish. And if you want to know more about pricing your handmade products for craft fairs and for online, then I'll pop a link in the description so that you can go over to the blog, and there's a fantastic guide there all about craft fairs, selling online. There's a lovely handmade business section for you to help you. So I will pop the link in the description for you. So we're almost there now. And as you can see, this is coming together really nicely. I'm looking a bit awkward because I'm trying to keep it in view of the camera. I would probably have this on my knee doing it or sitting upwards, but I wanted to do it in a way that you could see how those knots were being created. The key is once you've created that knot and pulled it through, make sure you tighten it, and then everything will be neat and the pattern will be the same, and it will just look really, really nicely finished. Now the 250 grams of wool for this wreath cost around £11, and the polystyrene wreath anywhere from £2 to £4 depending on where you get them. But if you're buying things to make in bulk, then you'll get some really, really good discounts. So you are looking at around £13–14 for the complete finished wreath, which is will make a really beautiful, meaningful gift, or as I say, it's something that you can sell online as a really high-end product. I'm coming to the last loops now. So again, we're going to wrap around the hand, come back and through, and we're almost onto our last loop, and I'm going to show you how we're going to finish this off. Make sure that tail's still sticking out from when you tied the original knot, and then you're going to push that wool through that loop. So grab hold of the wool and just pull that long length that's left through that final loop, and then we are going to just pull away any excess. So you may not even use the 250 grams. Now, some people will finish this differently, but I like this. It looked really neat. It created that final loop, which I could then tuck in behind the back. And again, I've got that loose tail from when we started. Pull that away gently, save as much wool as you can, and then just straighten it out. Make sure that everything is visible. So you don't want that lovely pattern around the edge of the hoop sort of sitting at the back. It wants to be sat forward, and then those tails, you don't do anything with them apart from weave them in and out of the back of the hoop, and they will just stay there nice and secure. Just weave it in and out all the way so you've got virtually no tail left. Just tuck it in, pull it tight, and that will just keep everything nice and secure. That's not going anywhere, and you don't need to do anything with it. We then do the same with the other side to secure it. Weave it in and out of the back of the hoop until it's nicely secured, and then we are ready to add our gorgeous bow. I am going for like I said, the beautiful Peacock Blue, but I've done one with burgundy, and for our girl I did one in a mink, and that had a lovely burgundy colour as well, because burgundy really is her colour. She loves it, so that's in her new place. And they're so quick, like I say, 15 minutes. I mean, this video isn't even 15 minutes long, but it, give yourself 15–20 minutes for the first one, and after that you can just whip them up in no time. And also you can add different colour ribbons. I've got some beautiful velvet ribbon that I'm going to add, but for today's tutorial I am using this gorgeous Peacock Blue. So you just tie it round in a bow. It's as simple as that. Pull it secure, not too tight because you don't want it to distort the wool. Remember, that wool's quite soft. Make sure that lovely looped pattern is visible from the front, and then smooth out the wool top and tie a bow. I've got no fancy techniques for this. I'm sure if somebody's got a better way of doing the bow, then please let me know in the comments. I love knots and finding different ways. I can just never remember how to do them when I need to do them. But this really doesn't need anything fancy. Make quite big loops, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pull them small, so we create a really nice shape. And then we actually just tease that wool, make sure it's turned the right way around so there's no sort of folds, and it's quite short because it wants to be a very distinctive bow. And then we do the same with the other side, pull it in until it matches, and there you have this beautiful contrasting bow, which I absolutely love and is going to go perfectly with all the new colours in my dining room. Maybe a little bit matchy, but hey, it's my colour, my choice, and there really are no rules when it comes to colour. Now I've popped this straight onto an existing hook, but if you want, you can make a lovely little plaited hanger with the wool tops that you used the same colour as the ribbon, as I have done with this burgundy one here. What are you going to make? What colours are your favourites? Let me know in the comments. And imagine these as Easter wreaths. There's so many ways you can go with this design. They just look amazing. And like I said, a 15-minute project. I mean, it's just incredible. Wool is the best. And who says crafts have to be slow? So go on, get one made, enjoy yourself, and don't forget to put your needle felting questions in the comments. Thanks so much for your support.